What's up guys, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. This is not my first video about the LEGO Ideas 2-1337 table football set. I made a detailed preview that included a lot of background information straight from the LEGO Ideas team about the design process and all the reasons why the set turned from this original idea to this final product. If you want to know the details, then I highly suggest to watch that video, the link is in the top right corner. Today I will show you the building process of this set in details, but that's not all, oh no, very far from that. First of all, I had the chance to talk to Donát, the talented young man who is the fan designer of the original submission. He was kind enough to share many details with me, and frankly, some was pretty eye-opening and might answer some of the conspiration theories popping up in the comment section of the first video. You will of course see a thorough test of the final product, but we didn't stop there. Some people complained why LEGO invented this setup with 2 rods and the 5-a-side layout, especially with 3 figures in the back row. Well, they obviously didn't invent it, and here's the proof. The 5-a-side mini table football or foosball table, it is an actual existing toy. I bought this one here for a comparison, you will also see it in action. But we also tested a full-size version to show you how the real deal works if you are not familiar with foosball and to see how the experience compares to the LEGO and the mini version. So, there are tons of things to see. I added timestamps to the video this time for an easier navigation. Now buckle up and let's get started. Oh, by the way, foosball is another term for table football. I wanted to clarify this as some people thought I was misspelling the German term for football in the title of the previous video. Here's the box of the set again. I did talk about it in details previously, really won't waste much time here now. Let's open it. The set has 2,339 pieces, the price is 250 euros or dollars, and it will be available from the 1st of November. There are 18 numbered bags inside with 14 building phases, an unnumbered bag with the field plates and the axles, and the building instructions in a paper envelope. Apparently we don't get any stickers in the set, and the manual has a somewhat more detailed cover than the other sets nowadays. I like it. In the manual we get some pages about football in general and then about table football. Then there's this section about the We Love Sports Ideas contest, and the original fan submission can be seen here. There's also an introduction from Donát. He started playing with LEGO around the age of 2 and he's been focusing on his own designs in the past 5 years or so. He builds both with physical bricks and in Bricklink Studio as well. The foosball table was not his first ideas submission, and he also had another entry to the sport contest. I suggest to check out his ideas page and also his page on rebrickable.com where you can find his Technic creations, because his favorite theme is Technic and we fully support that around here. I had a chance to see his next creation that might appear on the page soon, and I have to tell you that it is really impressive, so make sure to check it out. A few words from the designers on the next page in the instructions and a subtle reference to the challenges the team was facing during the development. As Antica says, we love the looks and the design of Donát's original model. After thoroughly exploring options to keep it at the original scale, we decided to scale it down to create the best possible building experience and great stability while playing, without compromising the fun. You could get more information from the design team in my previous video, and I will share what Donát thinks about the changes later on. Now let's start building. We get an interesting teaser of the minifigure variety and customization options at the beginning. There are 2 torsos, 2 legs with 4 different heads and 4 hair pieces to choose from. Then we start building the grandstand. The asymmetric building technique for the armrest is pretty cool, and the back of the seats is also nicely built, although the top row really shouldn't sit back. Phase 2 has again the same amount of minifig pieces. I think it will be easier to show the full selection at once at the end. Oh, these ones have flags as well. Windows for the back, a few more pieces and the top section is finished. The bottom was very straightforward, this is how they are attached, and the phase 2. We start building the table, lots of classic bricks and plates so far. There are lots of interconnected Technic bricks for the extra strength and stability. Thanks to them and the added extra layers, the frame is very sturdy. Here we have some Easter eggs with 2 printed tiles and the purple one. Donát did not have any information about this, so I have to assume they come from the Ideas team. I Love HCL refers to Heart Lake City from the Friends theme, since Antica, the lead designer of this set, was also responsible for many Friends sets. I guess this is here because of her. The other printed tile was in multiple Ideas sets and modular buildings as well. I assume another member of the design team added that one. I have no clue about the purple tile though. We begin with some brackets at the corners, then much more follows. After some bigger plates, here are the printed tiles for the field. Maybe not like this. Yeah, it's better. Prints look good and properly aligned, by the way. After some smaller tiles, we had the row of classic bricks. This set has lots of them. And yeah, brackets. Did I already mention the amount of brackets? In the next phase, we add the bases for the goals, then reinforce the area with more plates and bricks. We start to add plates to the sides as well that hold together the bracket layers. This thing is really built like a tank so far. Oops, almost. A few more, well, interesting pieces, forming a snod block for the end with some tiles and curved slopes for a smooth finish. And a little repetition here and there. Hooray! More brackets for the legs. Oh, not on all sides unfortunately. And there you go, 2 legs completed. Well, not quite ready yet for the game, I think. I promise I won't use the B word again, but there's more. And even more. And here is the end result. This is the assembly that guides the ball out of the goal. 2 more legs, then some tires for extra stability and grip. Lots of different slopes used all around the build to secure the connection of the legs. We add flags to the corners, then comes the assembly for the sides with the holes for the rods, and then the cover that has to be built 4 times. Oh, wait, that's only for one side, that means we'll have to do it again for the other side as well. Double walls and extra vertical reinforcement, just in case. Before building the other wall, here's something refreshingly different, the support and the counterweight for the figures. This is a minifigure backpack piece with a neck bracket that I've never seen before, despite being first released in 2014. Some proper Technic pieces at last, axles and half beams. And here comes the 32 module long Technic axle, which is the longest one actually. Just check how bendy this thing is by default. Remember to this when you ask why LEGO couldn't make a longer axle. We need to add 3 of the mounts to the axle with Technic bushes as spacers. A funny detail, the axle is so long it doesn't fit in the manual when the 1-to-1 alignment is shown. Pay attention to this as the figures will be closer to one end. Now we have 2 more support pieces and a slightly different layout of bushes. To spice the things up a bit, there's only one wall element in this phase, and instead of the second one we can complete the rods with the handles and the end stoppers. Same stuff finished for the other side, and here's the simple but elegant technical solution for the score counter, Technic connector sliding on an axle. An extra layer of plates added to the side with a lot of tiles for decoration. This is how it looked like before that. After completing the other side, we only need to add the little balls for the score counters, then comes the trophy for the stand, and the build is finished. Well, almost. Here comes a quite intimidating page with all the different minifigure variations and some instructions how to mount them. The hands should be down during playing. Time to add the figures. This will take a while and we also have to put them on the grandstand. Now we are really finished. And here's the ball. This is really not a new piece, by the way. It was used in the Spike Prime set and the 2 different expansion sets. So, here's the table together with the grandstand, and I think it looks great. I asked Donát and he really likes all the accents and design details that were added to the table. He wasn't really focusing on that aspect in his version. About the size, yeah, it is fairly compact, but this time I think it is an advantage since it does not require a huge space. The weight, on the other hand, is really surprising. It is about 1.85 kg without the stand, and let's say it has about 2000 pieces roughly. The motorized lighthouse, also around 2000 pieces, weighs 1.9 kg, and you can clearly see the size difference. The Technic heavy-duty tow truck is 1.75 kg with also 2000 pieces, so you can see how dense this build is. Going back to the table, here are all the minifigures, heads and accessories. They are also collected on this page of the manual. Donát mentioned something very interesting. The idea of having teams of this size with the additional heads and hair pieces was a core part of the development team's vision from the very beginning, even when they still tried to build the table with the original size. This is quite important to highlight because it shows that they did not add the minifigs and all the variations to inflate the price artificially as some people thought, but it's totally the other way around. It was part of the concept, and when they had to downsize the table, they still wanted to keep the variety of the figures. Before showing you the play experience of this set, let's take a quick look at the full-size foosball table. Full disclosure, we are not professionals at all. We have this table in my parents' house for fun family games, that's all. As you see, the table has 4 forwards on each side, 11 players in each team, and there's a serving hole on each side to launch the ball. It can be played by 2 people, but you need to control forwards, so it's frequently played by teams of 2 as well. The game can be pretty intense, but it's also very fun, and as you see, the table really needs to be robust enough to withstand the beating. Corners are slightly angled to avoid the ball being stuck, but there are certain positions where it can stop, then you need a little bump to help. Visibility is fairly good thanks to the size of the table, and the fun is totally guaranteed. Just to show you the size difference, this is how the Lego version compares to the big one. So, how is the play experience here? I have to say it's surprisingly fun, but you need to understand that it is very different from the big one. People were worried seeing the 3 figs in the defense. Well, it is really not that difficult to score, as you can see. The field is much smaller with higher walls, so the visibility is somewhat compromised. You need to lean over the table to really see the ball all the time. The table is robust enough, nothing fell down, the tires on the legs really help to keep it in place. The added bulk on the back of the minifigs needs some time to get used to, but the table is very much playable. The ball can still get stuck at some positions, especially if the plates are not completely pushed down. Talking about the plates, they are not protected from the bottom, so the best is to pick up the foosball table by grabbing the 2 ends. If you try to pick it up like this, then the field plates might pop up. Moving these score post elements one by one is not difficult, but at the end of the match you cannot push them together from one side to the other, you need to do it separately. So, this was the Lego version. How about the smaller wooden one? This one was around $35 and also required some assembly. Well, the instructions are definitely not at Lego level. The holes on some screws were too small for the Allen key, so the building experience was heavily impacted by the price range. Despite having a similar layout, the size difference of these two is pretty significant. Interestingly, the length of this one is almost the same as Donát's original version, so you can imagine squeezing more rods here could also affect the play experience. How about playing it? It is still fun, but interestingly it feels way too light and can be pushed around during playing easily. Despite the size difference, the weight is almost the same as the Lego version, and it also lacks any rubber or something similar on the legs to make it more stable. Thanks to the size, it is somewhat easier to handle the players compared to the Lego build, but I would say the overall play experience and fun factor is very much comparable. So, now to the main question everyone will ask: is it worth €2,500 or dollars? As always, the answer very much depends on you. If you want to play table football and that's all, then for this price you can already get a basic full-size model, or you can buy the mini tabletop version for a fraction of the price, so I would definitely recommend buying those. But honestly, I don't think the Lego version should be directly compared to them. This is something that you build from generic Lego parts. It has a building experience, can be customized, rebuilt, reused. It is a whole different world. It is like comparing remote-controlled Lego Technic sets to off-the-shelf RC toys. Are those faster, more powerful, more durable, so all in all better? Of course, but they offer something totally different. So, how about the comparison with other Lego sets? These have a similar price tag, a similar piece count, yet they are very different. I love Ecto 1 for the ingenious building solutions. The Volvo is a Technic RC toy with some unique features, and the motorized lighthouse is a fairly interesting build with a very impressive display piece at the end. The foosball table is again something different. It offers a unique selection of minifigures and accessories that was never found before in a single Lego set. The building experience is somewhat closer to the classic builds thanks to the many basic bricks, plates and tiles, but you will definitely learn how to make something sturdy. It is built like a tank. You can really feel that this aspect was super important during development. It is also fun and playable, and as Donát said, it is also compact and attractive enough to be used as a display piece for foosball or football fans. It is definitely not for everyone, but I'm sure there will be a lot of people who will buy it. If you don't like it, then choose something else, simple as that. I don't understand the existence of this guy here, for example, but maybe someone will like it, who knows. If I had to choose something related to sports, by the way, from the Lego product range, I would 100% pick this over the stadiums. Those are not appealing for me at all. And as a final thought, a lot of people said that this product doesn't do justice to the original submission, there was no point of focusing on playability, they should have released the original as a display piece or otherwise simply cancel the set. I asked Donát, and he said the original idea of the foosball table was chosen by him for the sport contest because he wanted to create something with functionality, something that works and that is playable. He didn't build it in a physical form, but as the whole platform is called ideas and not products, that really wasn't his job to do. For me, this means that a non-working display piece at the same size was definitely not something he wanted to see as an end result. He was fine with the downscaling and he is quite happy with the product. I think that's what matters at the end. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. I also suggest to subscribe with notifications as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.